guys are probably upset.
You're on.
All right, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to Islam Podcast. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. I am your ghostly voice, Arif Khan, but we have some better-looking people up here. We have Omar Isawi,
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
we have Imad, and we have Mr. Bakshi as well. Welcome back, brother. So I'm you can't see me, but I'm behind the camera here. But I'll let these gentlemen take over. Go over, guys.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to the Islam Draft Show. Contrary to popular belief, Arif is the best looking out of all of us. So we'll have to do. But we're happy and alhamdulillah that everybody's tuned in and excited and ready to go. The draft is underway, but we have some talking points and we are going to catch up to them in a bit, inshallah. So I'm going to turn it over to Imad to let us know where to go from here.
Yeah, so I see we're already getting questions from Maju here, who's going to be our insider in the background. But we have some questions that have been submitted to us by a few of the players in the league. So, Arif, maybe you can kick us off there.
Yeah. So the first one is who will draft the best team? This is from Mohib Shah. I think he wants to name himself here. But
So I'm just going to kicking off with that. I'm going to say it's not Mohib.
Ouch.
No. You know what? Okay, let's put it this way. I think it's really going to be dependent on who knows the players best in the draft. And just given the pool of players,
Just say it.
I think Abu Mandra and co will draft the best team just because there are a lot of guys from Malton who a lot of people they're new to the league. Not everyone's familiar with them. So I think they'll have a little bit of an inside track on these guys to be able to bring them in and, get that upper hand.
It's definitely by design. Those guys definitely recruited everyone on Derry Road and such. Malton is in high effect here for the draft.
Yeah, look, I agree that they probably have the best inside track on a lot of the guys, but this only works when other people don't know the guys, right?
Sure.
So I mean, everybody calls it the T Park model, right? The T Park model is you bring a lot of East End guys in because a lot of the GMs are coming from the West End and they don't necessarily mix in other leagues. But now what's happening is that you have guys playing in tier 4 or 5, especially at the hangar. And there's a lot of younger guys, right? We have a lot of younger GMs. And so in my opinion, I think guys like, Adam, guys like Omar Hussein, guys like Tayyib Lobby, right? I think that those guys all know a lot of the younger guys, and I don't think that they'll have any issues identifying those players.
So already we have the first comment, which is Tim Hortons a paid sponsor? We were just joking about this, and this happens every time we do the show in this place.
Great
But no,
minds think
they're
alike.
not.
What's next? Oh, sorry, Mux, you have anything to add?
To who's going to be the best draft? No, I think it's going to come down to, like Asawi said, who has familiarity. I think a lot of people have familiarity, but I do think familiarity with the younger crowd will definitely help out. So those GMs who are younger.
And I think it's going to come down to who drafts a team that
Position.
exactly, right? So yes, fine, best player available, but we've seen this before where a team drafts the best player available and then drafts no defenseman, right?
Also, when people draft their friends before the actual
Yeah,
people
that's
who
true.
might be better than
With
them.
everybody.
or family.
Yeah,
Friends, family, confidants. But either way, like
What are we talking about here?
I don't know. Are we still talking
I
about?
think maybe it's time to move on to the next question, Arif.
All right, the next question is from Abdullah Patel. Is who will be the steal of the draft?
Oh man, I think the GMs are watching, so I'm not sure we want to give any tips out here. I do have an idea of some of the sleepers in the draft, but I can tell you who I think stood out to me as like a summer pick. We have Ahmed Chopra. In my opinion, he was drafted quite low in the summertime, and I do think he's gonna make some moves up into the higher ranks. I think Abdullah Patel is probably due for a bounce back season as well. So I think Abdullah Patel might be the steal of the draft, both for his insider knowledge and
Absolutely not, but go ahead.
I think he's due. I think he's due to have a bounce back, but also,
yeah.
I mean, he is the prototypical shadow GM, if you will. So he might bring other benefits to a team.
Zed Kadri is one guy who stands out, and I think he did well in the summer season. He's he just did a really, really good job, and he's growing into his body. I think he's just going to be a much better player this season, playing with a different skill set as well.
Yeah, we have another question from Mohib Shah. Give an honest opinion on who has the strongest GM trio this season.
Man, this guy keeps asking. I think he's just.
He just wants to hear
I
his
think he's
own
fishing
name.
for a.
Just
for,
name him and get it over with.
Definitely not him.
I think that Rida in particular probably has a very well-rounded GM trio.
I would agree.
But I can never discount Abu and Ko because they played with each other and they have amazing chemistry. I was on that team last year, so I don't think that we can discount them. I mean, we keep giving shout outs, but also you have Luke, Akib, and Suf who played together for many years as well. Very, hard hat and lunch pail type of team.
I think I have a question because I was going to get to that. If they veer away from drafting who they normally do the Mullocks, do you think they'd be stronger or weaker?
They tried that. Was it was it in the fall, last fall or last winter?
I think it was the fall. In the winter, they drafted Sadat. They drafted, I think, Ismail Hussein. And they had, and it didn't work out.
Last season didn't
Yeah,
work
yeah.
out, but I'm saying a couple seasons before they went a little younger.
It
And-
didn't really hurt them. They had a slow start to the season, but if I recall correctly, they actually did fairly well, going with a good finish, right?
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
I'm just trying to get to the point where I see a lot of people get like, and I'll say this: there's GMs out there. Luke is one of them. Dawood's another one where they get used to the people and they keep drafting them. Now, will it going back to the well always work? I don't know. Sometimes like drafting, like I said, drafting the best person available versus the one you're used to. I don't know which one's gonna change, right?
So quickly, pick one trio.
4.
Best trio you think? Well-rounded.
You know what?
You got to pick one. Come on.
In the hats that I wear, unfortunately,
To
I,
tie you
you
up.
gotta pick
I
one.
can't.
You gotta
I
pick
All right,
can't.
one.
guys,
What
we,
if-
we gotta move
Okay.
on because our commissioner's in the room here.
Okay,
He's here to
let's
make
go.
the official first
Saved by
draft
the
pick.
commish.
Yeah, grab
go,
one of
commish.
those. And
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Okay, so I'll make this quick. So obviously there's I'd like to thank a lot of people that sorry, I'll make this quick. So assalamu alaikum, guys. On behalf of the organizing committee of ISLAM, I'd like to thank obviously Happy Strong Family for supporting us this great facility in terms of providing all the amenities for the studio. So Jazakallah, they're doing a lot of great things here. So please do what you can do to support them. But also the masjid itself, Masjid Dar al-Imam, the venue, they mashallah have a great venue in terms of like providing us with the facilities that they have here. But with all due, there's nothing more that I could say other than for the first overall pick, Team Rida has selected Ali Wadi as first overall in the 2023 fall pick.
All right.
You guys are in great hands, so I'll leave you guys
Wow,
with
I'm
that,
surprised.
and we'll go back to the GM chat group, inshallah.
Thanks, Habibi. Wow. What do you guys have to say? There's like no surprise there, I would say.
No, I mean, I think it's
toss-up.
I think this is probably the best pick they could have made in terms of team chemistry. Like, I really think you have what you need to score in Mohib and Asif. And I think my suspicion is that Ajmal will play center. That's my suspicion. And then you have Ali who will quarterback the D.
Yep.
So I think you're in good shape, right? I don't think you could have gone wrong with either Waqar or Ali, but I think that they probably are looking for Ajmal to probably play up, and that results in Ali taking control of the D.
No, Ajmal, the good thing with him, I played with him last season. He actually is a really good quarterback on D as well. So he can interchange back and forth. So him and Ali both possess those skills. They can play good center. They can play good defense. So, having interchangeable pieces is really good for you. So I think it was the best overall selection for that team.
Yeah, it's good flexibility. And there you go. You have something that showed up on the screen very briefly. But
So I think we also have a second pick as well. Let's see, and the second pick is
Waqar.
No surprise.
Yeah, so he's going to Maz, Altaf, and Fahad. Like Arif said, there's no surprise here. They were trying to trio up with him, I guess, as a GM, but didn't quite work out. But it looks like they got him anyways. What do you think?
I mean, I think that it was either Ali and Waqar 1-2, right? And I don't think that was a
It was a
no-brainer.
flip.
I mean, if you want the best forward, in my opinion, available in the draft, it was Waqar. Again, not knowing maybe some of the other younger kids, right? And so I think that they made the right pick. They made the smart pick. What's going to be interesting is, I guess, because they have a goalie already as a GM, how they will navigate like their defense and how that will get made up. But for now, I mean, Wakar, solid pick. I expect them to score a lot of goals.
Yeah. So, Buck, what do you think? Like, they have the top. They have 3 great forwards on the team right now, and no defense. While Wakar was probably the best player to pick, do you think they made a mistake not taking a defenseman?
No, I think they're very familiar. Wakar's played with them in the past quite a bit in other leagues as well. So I think they wanted to. I think at the end of the day, you need to score goals to win. So I think they've shored up their first line for forwards, and they will have to grab some defense, and hopefully they can pick up some steals later on of maybe guys who people don't know. But
And a couple defensemen at the table here, so
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Couple.
maybe 3.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I'm the only one who plays defense willingly, I think. So
I play
I'm a
willingly. It's not my
spectator.
preference, but
I'm a spectator. I'm not in this. I just come for the vibes.
all right. I
Great.
mean, all right, Arf, we're ready to go, man.
Yeah, I think we have our third pick as well now. So from Team Subber, they have picked.
Mohamed Kalair.
Okay.
Claire.
So I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did call this in the draft show online. I said that, like Vin Diesel, these guys will
It's a
always pick family, right?
Yeah.
And
No
and-
surprise.
Yeah, you know what? I can't verify this, but I do know that Mohamed Claire had an amazing Salam Cup. I believe he had won best player or something, or player of the game
Really?
at some
Wow.
point, right? He was not in the men's division. He was in the younger, I don't know what they call it.
Juniors
The
or
youth?
whatever,
Yeah.
young stars. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, whatever it is, junior A or whatever they call it. But he has consistently been a pest, if you will, in front of the net as a defenseman. I don't enjoy having him in my vicinity. So was he the pick that you take at number 3? Omar Hussein and Cole, they believe so. So I guess we'll see. If this this is almost a replay of what happened the last time they GM'd, right? They
Come
picked,
on with orange, right?
yeah, so they picked all their family, but what
No
happened? They made
defenseman.
the playoffs, right? They made it quite far. I think they made it to the semis.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. I mean, Omar Hussein has the ability to take over a game, so he must feel like that family chemistry is something that he wants to preserve.
But that challenged them though during the regular season when they just didn't have defensemen to play because they ran into that trouble. I mean, same as Joaquin now, they have 4 forwards to start with.
Well, Mohamed Kalair is a
3,
really
sorry.
good player. Mohamed Kalair is a really good player, and unfortunately, again, if you don't pick him, you run the risk of other people taking him and using him as bait for trades you don't want. So I think it had to be done, and you know what? Let's see, family, let's go.
It looks like the next pick is in. We have Isan, so Daoud, Kezantini, and Farouk Khan taking Hamoudi 4th overall.
I mean, Hamoudi is there's not enough
can't
good
go
things.
wrong.
Yeah, you can't. Hamoudi can play forward. He can play
Egyptian connection
defense.
here.
He's a big body. He's impossible to move. Like, I mean,
Penalty kill, power play, like literally
exactly. Like,
everything except goalie.
yeah, and I think what's going to be interesting is I don't know where they're going to have Hamoudi play because you already have, the summer MVP Farouk Khan on your team, who is a stalwart on defense. And my suspicion is that they're probably going to put Hamoudi up, unless they really want to stack and put. Can you imagine having to play against
Hamoudi and
Farouk?
Farouk?
Yeah, on defense, like you'd be
Twin
flattened. By the,
towers.
yeah, well, you'd be flattened by the end of that shift. You wouldn't want to go back on. I feel so. I think solid pick and good on Daoud. It seems like he is definitely doing his homework.
Zed's got a good little fun fact here. Majri says that Hamoudi is the tallest player in the league, standing at 6'5".
Mashallah.
Wow, I didn't know he measured.
He has some of the inside scoop this season, so he's helping us out there.
Okay,
He's our
yeah.
insider.
I'd say Hamoudi is one of the most overall best players with very little downside. So he's one of those risk-free picks you can always move everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's played with Daoud before.
Yes.
He's often played
No,
with.
he has played with Daoud, but
Has
he's often a Luke pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's like I don't know if he's played with Daoud, and that might. It'll be interesting to see what the chemistry is like there.
But I like this now. Everyone's moving away from what they normally do, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what
All right,
happens.
whenever you're ready, just throw the
Yeah,
picks up.
yeah.
And we'll,
So the next
change
one
up.
is number 5, first pick by a class is Yaya Ingar.
I knew this.
Yeah.
I felt like this was coming from a mile away. So RC drafted him the last time he played in the league, and he is very fast, very smart, has a great release, great shot. And so I think he was basically a catalyst on RC's team when RC was, I believe, the GM of Yakin. This is no surprise to me. I know that the Molten guys had their eyes on Yahya, and I think even Abdullah had in the comments in the draft show that he was emphasizing that I think that they'd probably draft him in the first round. So I think that RC he sniped the pick there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out with Abu Mandra, and I'm sure they were looking to have him at some point and maybe hoping he'd sneak in the second round, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Nope. I can envision the next few rounds or picks being very frustrating for Abu, because I feel like I think the cat's out of the bag.
Well, speaking of which, I think the next
Look
pick's
at
on the
cat,
screen
though.
right
Oh,
now.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so who do we have next, Arif?
This is first pick by Iman is Muhammad Qazi.
So that's
Oh, man.
Adam Ahmed, Junaid Alvi, and Bilal Mohideen. So yeah, you're right.
It's a Malton breakdown.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Abu's pulling his hair out right
or
now.
punching the air. I don't know. Maybe Muhammad Qazi will develop ride problems. So who knows what will happen. But again, Muhammad Qazi he's a previous goal scoring winner. He is the underrated superstar of our league, right? As in, he always puts up
100%.
points. He plays forward. He plays defense.
He's like Phil Kessel of our league, I would say.
No,
I don't know. That's what I say.
no,
Like
no.
he's like very unassuming. From that, what I mean is like he's unassuming. So
Please don't call.
because
you, you look at him. Well, I don't know about whether he eats hot dogs or he eats palau or biryani or whatever it is, but you look at him, you're like, okay, yeah. And when he's out there too, he's not necessarily.
He continually puts up
Intense?
points.
But you know what? He performs when he has to. So that's why I draw the comparison there.
Kazi Kachili puts up points year after year, season after season, silently. But again, he may not be the one you see that is the flashiest, but I would say he's one of the most consistent guys in the league, and definitely the most consistent guy in Malton. He's a pillar for Abu Mandra, and he's definitely punching. The
Yeah,
ball.
even his stats, if you look at it, right? It's winter 23, 5 goals, 5 assists. So very balanced.
There you go.
offense.
plays defense, plays forward, plays everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was a
So-
championship season, I think.
So speaking of Abu Mandra and those guys, since
Like
they're
everyone's moving away from
since
him.
their boys have been picked, Yaya's gone, Kazi's gone. So who do they pick? They pick
Zahir Kazi,
Kazi had to be.
any relation?
another one.
I do think they're related. I don't know how though. I did hear
Cousins.
very good things about Zahir Kazi. I've never seen him play personally, but I do know that he's fast, high skilled. One thing that we probably didn't touch on is a lot of these guys are friends or played on the same team as Mohamed Shabir Patel. So they play in like tier 4, tier 5 GTBHL. And so I suspect a lot of these younger guy picks are being made by him. And very, very interesting to see. They picked him first overall. I imagine he's a guy that will fit well.
Yes,
Confirmation,
Cousins.
they're cousins.
There you go.
I just guessed
So-
it. It's first or second, either or.
Yeah, and you know what? It was great to see a lot of these guys who are new to the league now. They came out for a pickup last
Yeah.
week. Was it 2 weeks ago? And yeah, they look great. I'm super excited to see them play this season.
All right, so we got another one on the board. First pick by Lukman, Akib, and Sufyan's team, Haya, is someone that people are like, where is he? He hasn't been picked yet.
So
there you go.
Sodagar.
Sorry, man. I would have your song ready, Yusuf, but I'm not at home. I don't have the same gear
This
here.
is I would say like this is another one of those surprise picks where I just can't envision seeing Yusuf playing with those guys. Like
Why not?
I'm sure with the skill level they can play, but like I just can't picture it.
Well, that's not. I mean, Akib and Yusuf played together on Green Army,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh, okay, there you go.
yeah, so they
Just
are
familiar.
teammates.
Shows what I know.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Yusuf is again a very versatile guy. He can play forward. He can play defense. He has extremely high hockey IQ. So I don't think that in addition to Akib, Luke, and Suf, who also have extremely high hockey IQ. I think he'll fit right in. I don't think there'll be any issue. I'm going to be interested to see who the loudest mouth on the team is, though. I mean, because they all, they all like to communicate with all the players and kind of direct the team.
He's
So-
just calmed down a little bit over the years.
I mean, he has, but I personally very much enjoyed playing with Yusuf Sotogar. He was, very, very. He gave
Passionate.
good guidance. He gave good
Yeah.
guidance. We'll leave it at that.
Passionate guidance.
Passionate, yes.
All right, so we got another one on the board. So this is for Haya on the snake back, and they've picked.
Ooh.
Chapra.
Wow, higher than I thought. Wow.
Yeah, so he just joined our league for the first time in the summer season just now.
He did.
I agree.
Mashallah had a really, really good
was
season.
on your
You're on
team.
your
Yeah,
team. You want to
yeah.
talk about him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great player, very speedy, very again, really good hockey IQ, knows where to be, and actually has a really good knack for finding the empty spots and being open. That's one thing that was great, was I could always go up and he'd be open or looking for where to get open. So I think it's a little bit higher than even when I thought. I didn't think he would go up that high, but definitely a good player and well deserved from the last season. He was definitely a big part of what made our team good. So
That's great. Unfortunately I don't know if I got a chance to see him play this last season, but I'm looking forward to it this season.
lots of speed, lots of finish.
He has a really, really good release.
Yeah.
Right. He is on the he's not as physical as a forward, and I don't remember him
Center build.
thinner
Tall,
build,
thin.
but I don't remember him challenging in the corners so much. But he has this really sneaky ability to sneak into the slot, and
That's what I was talking about.
and whenever he shoots from there, it just seems to go in. Will he have the same ability given the maybe higher skill level in this season? Who knows? But I mean, once it seems like when he has a shot, it goes in.
A really good thing
Yeah.
about him compared to even a lot of the younger guys is he hustles back. So that's the one thing I really, really like when I see young guys running back into play and playing defensive, especially these forwards. So if he can score and hustle back, that'll go a long way in this league.
Right. All right, who do we have next?
Okay, so the 11th pick for Team Iman is. I hope I have it. Actually, sorry, I missed one. 10th pick
10th, yes.
for Team Taqwa is Ayaz Patel.
This is another guy who's new. He's probably coming in. I wonder if there's any relation to Mohammed Patel, Shabir Patel, the GM.
I assume so.
They're all
I don't
Patels.
know, man.
Could be, could not be.
I feel like there's a lot more Patels than Kazis. So I mean,
Oh,
who knows?
Or Maliks.
I think we need a stat, Zed, on how many Abdullah Patels there are in the draft
Everyone start
and how many
counting.
Mohammed Patels there are in the draft. Because I think there's at least 3 Abdullah Patels. I can't tell them apart. I hope the GMs can tell them apart.
Yeah. So I mean, look. At the end of the day, this individual, he was not ranked in the top 20 in our scouting report. So Abu
Someone
knows something we don't,
something.
right? Abu knows something we don't. He dug deep for this guy, and
Did Abu help with the scouting report by any
he
chance?
did not.
Oh,
He
okay,
did
there
not.
we go.
So
Okay.
I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
All right. I think, Arif, you had the next pick up, so it's Hood.
It was a little...
Ooh.
So Hood got picked by Iman, 11th.
So, yeah, so 11th overall, second round. Like, Hood had a really good winter season. Was it going
With
back
them.
2 seasons? Yeah, with them.
them.
Yeah, that's right. He did. So I guess the familiarity factor is there. But I don't know. He had a rough summer season. He was GM. Maybe it was the pressure on there. But
Adam.
I don't know. I think it might be a little early for him to go. But you know what? He's going to have lots of opportunity to prove himself.
I think that who does well when he is maybe not your number one option, right?
Yeah.
Who does well on your second line, right? When he's not being asked to shut down the other team's centerman, or when he's not being asked to play center,
Yeah.
right? So I think that he'll slot well in here. I think that the team is probably like even with Kazi here, right? I think that a lot of pressure is going to be taken off of him to kind of play his game, and who plays a loose and fast game, right? He,
Yes,
he
yeah.
likes to deke, he likes to be a little bit fancier. And he can do that against another team's second line. He can't do that against the first line. So if he's given those opportunities, maybe even some power play time, I think that he might thrive in those situations.
All right, we got another pick here. It's hot off the press. You know how it is when the goalies start falling. So here's their first goalie pick by Ikhlas.
Mohammed Patel.
I cannot imagine that Abu is happy about this.
Has he been happy with much of anything so far in this draft? I don't know. I think he's had to dig deep into like his diamonds in the rough early in the draft just because the guys that he's wanted are gone. But I mean, what can you say about Badger? He's a proven winner. He's competitive and he's reliable, right?
I think for whoever wants to solidify their goalie, they 100% could use a Badger. Mohamed Patel is one of the best goalies in the league. I'm not going to say he's number one right now. He's had a couple of seasons where, he didn't match his own expectations. So he is one of the consistently best goalies in the league, and he'll be good wherever he goes. And I think he thrives not being with Boone, these guys, and I think he enjoys kind of proving to them that he can do without them. So it seems like a little bit of a collapse with the Malton Avengers here.
Malton Mavericks. Yeah, you know what? And also keep in mind, two teams already have goalies as GMs, so there are only 6 goalies in the draft. One of them is gone now, so there are only 5 left. All right, do we have our next pick?
Yeah, so the next pick goes to Ihsan, and once again, dressed in red is Mr.
Zeddy. No surprise here. Tried, tested, and true with Dawood and crew. I just made that rhyme up by myself. I did not plan that.
There you
pretty
go.
good.
I like.
Pretty good.
I mean, I think you know what you're getting with Essen, right? You are getting a leader both on and off the floor. You're getting somebody that will hold everybody accountable, and you have somebody that can play the game, right? Essen's been doing this a long time. So again, I think that was probably reaching for a little bit of familiarity, but is also with this pick, I would assume that Hamoudi's going to play up now, right?
Yeah.
And between Farouk and Essen, I don't know who's going to yell at them more. But I mean, we'll see. So far, I am more impressed than I've been in other years.
By Dawood's picks?
Yes.
I mean, it's only 2 so far, but yeah,
I mean,
they're good picks.
It's 2, but if you look at this as your top 5,
yeah,
right?
that's a
it
solid
is
top 5.
solid top 5.
Depends who their goalie is,
A,
but we'll
a
see.
little fun fact from our resident statistician, Zaid Maju. 3 Abdullah Patels and 3 Mohammed Patels, including GMs.
There you go. All right, who do we have next? Arif, you got to keep us on time here.
All right, let me ask
all
you
gonna
guys,
go
who do you
at some
think is
point.
next?
Essen Zeddy, well, I guess you'll see how his son probably drafted the next couple rounds too. Then.
Well, I would assume so. Otherwise, I mean, he definitely has right issues. So
Well, I think there was a question, not a question, but a comment from
Someone just said it.
said that we got to see the spreadsheet. So yeah, once we finish the second round, we'll quickly look at the spreadsheet and see
All right.
how it is. All right, so
I
now
can see the spreadsheet. You can see the spreadsheet. Okay? Move on.
14th pick by Subber is none other than
Wow.
And I'm wearing the
Okay,
jersey.
you already ready? He's ready to
Yeah,
go.
already up,
Packaged
already
and
up.
ready to go.
it's already sweating. He's already warmed up.
Well, so let me interview you here. How do you feel about joining this GM trio with Mohamed Khaler?
So I've never played with Omar Hussein.
Okay.
And that for me
You'll enjoy
has
it.
been I don't want to say a dream, but something I've wanted to do. I'm if I put my analyst hat on, I do think that this was a reach and a little bit too early given the other players that are available. So
But
You got to keep in mind though, they're looking for a defenseman at this point.
defenseman.
So
Defenseman.
I know
Maybe
I mean, I
not-
could list 3 other defensemen that I would have taken before me, right? But again, I'm happy to be drafted on the team. I'm ecstatic to be playing with these guys, right? So I'm not critical of the pick.
You're trying
I
to
do
reduce your expectations before this.
No, well, I had gone into this draft by saying I would be content being the second best defenseman on the team, right? So I'm hoping that their next pick is a better defenseman than me.
probably unlikely.
But we'll see, right? I'm happy to be on the team and looking forward to a great season.
I think you'll gel well with them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that picture of me in the Subber jersey is a season I got traded.
Yeah.
So I
you'll-
no longer have a
you'll-
yellow jersey. So I'm happy to also have a yellow jersey.
There you go. And I imagine you're gonna ask to excuse yourself now to help draft.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you were
these
gonna-
guys- I think these guys will be fine. I mean, if you're a Khaler.
Where's
or-
that phone, Omar? Like on the screen?
No, my
You're
phone's right. It's in my hand.
Yeah, you're not gonna be messaging. Yeah, pick this guy, pick that guy.
He's got macros built in already, so he just has to press a
I mean,
button
we're on
and
a
it
time
goes.
delay here, right? So I mean, they've made several picks by now, so we'll see.
All right. So after Omar is Zachary Ali.
A defenseman
Zach,
off the board
another
now.
defenseman. Back
There you go.
There you
Right.
go.
So
You
that
know
might have
what,
been a
that's-
defenseman I was taken before me, and so
Three
it's a
defensemen.
surprise because he's like very close to these guys as well.
He
right?
is,
So,
yeah.
I mean, they would have had to leave him on the board. But again, if you're looking at this team, right, it's pretty well built so far. Like Zachary Ali is as a fellow defenseman, I've loved his game. Right, he doesn't score a lot of goals, but I would say
sets up
that,
a lot of plays.
yes. So there's three tiers. There's three kinds of defensemen, in my opinion, right? There is a defenseman that just plays defense, right? Like you have like your Amar Khwaja, right? He is your
Shutdown.
shutdown defense. Zuhair Fancy, right? There's your shutdown in your face. You're not getting past the blue line type of defenseman. Then you have your defenseman in the middle who won't necessarily score a lot of goals, but they'll get a lot of assists.
Two-way defensemen.
Right. Two-way defenseman, if you're looking doing Chell terms, right? And then you have your third tier defenseman who doesn't play any defense, right? Who doesn't play any defense but will score your goals, right? And he's almost like your fourth forward on the floor, right? So Zaccarelli, I think he's probably one of the best in the middle tier, right?
He has a great shot.
he has a great shot. I mean, he doesn't score a lot of goals, but he sets up a lot, and he's never out of position.
He works
which is-
hard.
Yeah, which is what I love about him as well. So great pick there, Yakin.
Ismail Malik to
And-
end the second round.
I don't think that is the right card, guys.
Oh, wait.
sorry.
It's not Ismail Malik.
Maybe it's
Sorry,
not.
Ishmael.
Sorry, Ismail. Didn't want to get you too excited there. Hopefully, he's not watching right now.
All
all right, sorry.
wrong.
We got it.
It's been done.
I'm gonna let
If the
you
pros can do
finish.
it, we can do it too.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're doing something live, right? And there's multiple people involved.
It's okay.
Yeah.
While I figure this out, maybe
I
you
can
can.
announce it.
Yeah, if you'd like.
No, we have it here. Yeah, go ahead.
So the next pick is an Ismail. It's not
Yeah,
Malik. It's
It's
Ismail
Mandra.
Mandra.
Yeah.
And I specifically asked who this guy was when he came to pick up. He was wearing a red jersey. Were you there, Gordon? So how
No,
would
he
you-
wasn't.
Yeah,
I'm just saying who's this guy.
yeah, why would you even? Anyways, he was wearing a red jersey, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And so I had asked the guys on the bench, and they was like, "That's Ismail." And then he had a Mandra jersey on. And then I also asked Abdullah. Right, Abdullah was very forward in his assessment. He is a very strong two-way forward that will score goals. Right, and
Who doesn't want that?
exactly, who doesn't want that? Right, and
Jeez.
he plays on the Pool B Malton team, but my understanding is that he is well deserving of the spot on the A team, if you will, not Pool A.
So you're
They
saying
have-
he's a B plus.
Maybe he gets more of an opportunity to play on Pool B than he can
yeah,
on Pool
right.
A.
And
but
so
yeah.
I think that this is has Asif Bika written all over it, or maybe Mohib written all over it. But again, he is an excellent forward. So this is shaping up quite nice now. I think that Ismail will probably play with Asif and Mohib, and then you'll have Ajmal and Ali play defense. And again,
Yeah.
it's
So-
very young, fast, top five.
Yeah, so while you're saying that, maybe you can pull up the first two rounds, RF,
Give
Let's
a
see
second.
where
Take
it
a
is.
look.
and then we can quickly start moving to round 3.
Make sure we got the right screen here.
The top line is
all
pretty
right,
much
here we
shaped
go.
up at this point.
Yeah, basically,
Potentially.
unless you have a goalie as a GM. Yeah,
Hopefully, you guys can see this. Here.
We can.
yeah.
Ish.
It's gonna be hard,
I mean,
but
I can
yeah.
see it.
yeah,
So-
you can read them out and then.
So I mean, like,
Oh, do you want me to read it out?
like you said, Rida probably has the most well-rounded. Rida and
I
and
like
Ihsan.
Ihsan so far.
Yeah,
yes.
I would say those two had the most well-rounded top 5 so far.
Yeah,
Red and blue.
yeah. Well, let's use the team names.
Yeah,
Rida
Rida and
and
Ihsan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not discounting any other team.
It's early.
Yeah, like I mean, Iman, they have 2 defensemen and 3 forwards, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Locked in.
I think that you also probably have a really good Ikhlas. I'm not finding a
RC
team.
always drops a good team.
Yeah, honestly, I think that we probably need to comment in like 3 or 4 rounds,
Yeah.
because by then I think you don't know anybody, and then you're really reaching at that point, right? So,
Yeah.
your 3-4, your top 3-4 rounds of guys that you know, and maybe guys that you have on a list, and then after that,
I've been keeping,
see.
Roll the
keeping my
dice.
eye on the young GMs there and seeing how they're drafting. It seems like they're drafting according to their age, but they picked up some guys like Kazi off the board. So interesting to see how they draft. I'm watching how the younger GMs are drafting right now.
So, Omar, just because I have a couple of multiple things to running here, why don't you just go at your pace, pick who the next person is? You can announce it
Mhm.
on your laptop, and I will just try to keep up. and
okay,
paste the pictures.
okay.
So you guys can do it at your pace, and I'll just add. the
Sure.
people.
Sure. The next individual that is picked on Rida is someone that again I would have picked before myself. He is Omar
As a
Mahmoud.
defenseman.
As a defenseman.
Yeah,
I mean, he played defense all summer.
but I think
I
he
think
prefers being forward though.
He does.
He's a forward defenseman guy.
Yeah. Well, he's someone who excels at defense but doesn't like to play it.
Yeah.
Right. And he is, again, he was a GM in the summer. So I'm shocked. Like, honestly, like this, I believe he should have gone several picks before this. And he's one of those guys where he really is a glue on your team. He's a great locker room guy, and he can play, right? I mean, he has one thing that drives me insane as a defenseman, where he drops the shoulder, cuts into the middle, and like no matter what, like you have to trip him. You
I
have
grew
to,
up with him. I just shove him, but it's different.
yeah. Well, you have to catch him too. Like he's also deceptively
You
fast
got to
as well.
catch him, Bucks. He's saying,
right?
telling you something.
Yeah. So, good on that, right? I think again, Rida is setting themselves up quite nicely. Like, imagine having the luxury of potentially putting Omar Mahmoud on your second line, right? Like
That's wild.
Yeah,
That is
right.
wild.
And so, good pick. I mean, Mohib definitely he planted those questions, in terms of who the strongest drafted team would be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making a case.
Who's next? We have Abdullah Patel. Now, which Abdullah Patel?
Patel?
So I think this is actually
the first one.
this Abdullah Patel
Okay.
because
Shadow GM. Patel?
it's not another one because I know their initials. So there's an Abdullah Patel, there's an Abdullah K Patel, and there's another Abdullah. But this I'm maybe a little
Our
surprised by
Abdullah?
this one.
This is our Abdullah.
This is this Abdullah, the one that we're familiar with in league.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you went based on stats, I don't know if you would pick Abdullah here, but if you went based on his ability and capability, then I think it's a great pick there. I think you'd be hard pressed not to score with Maz and Wakar on your team. And I mean, honestly, Abdullah, if you can't score this season, my friend, I think you may need to
Retire.
play defense.
So-
Okay.
I think you wonder maybe was he picked here right now maybe to help a little bit with drafting going forward, because I mean Maz and Fahad have been out of the league and kind of in and out of the league for a while, and then Ataf is pretty new to the league. This is only his second season, so I think there might be like a double benefit of getting Abdullah here at this point.
Probably. I mean, we did call him the Shadow GM, right? So
100%.
yeah, I do think that he will. He'll be on the phone with them. He's probably already in the
He adds
background.
value in more than just on the ice.
Yeah, but he can score too. Like Abdullah is somebody that has put up stats before, and I think he does so when he's probably not your number one option, right? So again, Abdullah right now is on the second line.
Well,
That's
speaking of
where he can be.
Abdullah, I think we have a next pick right now from Suber, 19th overall, is Abdullah K Patel.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know who this is.
I'm looking forward to understanding and getting familiar with this guy to see.
I mean, I assume that we're just gonna have to call him by his middle name because
Okay.
there's already an Abdullah Patel.
Abdullah Patel. I don't know,
I also
or K Patel.
I also don't know. I mean, in terms of, I'm just trying to see where.
AKP. That's his new nickname.
Yeah, I'm
There you go,
just-
AKB. I like that.
AKB.
That sounds from something else, though. I don't know if that's good or not. But
Yeah, I'm trying to see where he was ranked in, but again, I can't. Oh, he was in the top 25 players, so I mean,
Okay.
he's kind of picked where he needs to go, I guess.
I guess let's find out. Next, we have Sani going 20th overall.
That
to
is
Isan.
shocking.
Yeah, to drop that far.
Shockingly good for
Sani?
whoever drafted him.
Yes, Sani is
crazy.
a top 10 player, right? He should have been drafted in the top 10. This is ridiculous.
Abu Patel. Sorry, I didn't read what's on screen.
Is it?
Yeah, it says no. Yeah,
Abu Patel.
Abdullah K Patel goes as Abu Patel.
Steal. Very good pick.
But we're here talking
Abu
about
Lak
Sani.
Patel. I don't get it. Anyways, but Sani, Dawood, man, you're doing pretty good here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
very
yeah,
impressed with those
maybe
drafting
it's-
right now.
Maybe Farouk is drafting.
Hey, you know what? Maybe he is.
Yeah,
definitely has
That's true.
Right?
Maybe he is.
But,
He told Dawood here, you take a back seat for once.
yeah. But in any
No,
case,
that one knows everyone. I'm
I
sure
mean,
he's going with best player available.
yeah, I would have taken Farouk Sani before some of these other guys, myself
Jeez.
included, right? So I think again, great pick. I think Dawood is setting himself up nicely for a great season. Like technically, Farouk is on the second line.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You're either gonna have Farouk or Hamoudi on the second line or a second pairing defenseman.
See, another thing about Sani is that he's a versatile player. He can play
Defenseman,
every
forward.
position.
Well, he's just like Hamoudi.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys should have even more values, given that people are always missing on teams, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. So next we have Bilal Alvi going to Ikhlas.
Which is probably going to upset Iman.
Yes, very much so. They're probably planning on taking him in the next pick.
Yeah, they probably were. And it's gonna be interesting. I feel
Saboteur.
like there's a lot of sniping of picks, which is what we talked about in the beginning of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
It's like everybody kind of knows everybody. This is not where you feel like you can sneak your guys in
Yeah.
and nobody's gonna know who they are, right? So again, this is classic RC right here. There's no mercy, there's no kindness. RC will take the guys that he wants, and it is what it is.
There's no family discounts
Yeah.
here.
And he's a big Bilal is a big lanky guy. You know, he hasn't played it for a couple of seasons. Maybe he's filled out his body a little bit more, but I mean, he can like use
He
his
can play.
body.
He's
to
a
his advantage.
defenseman.
Yeah,
He's a defenseman, and I mean, I didn't really see much offensively from him as of yet. But again, I do know that like this Adam runs a team called the Tigers,
yes,
and they did win something in the summer,
they did. Yeah, I
right?
saw that.
And so
It's good to win something.
again, it brings
You wouldn't
experience, right? Going to the playoffs, going to the finals, it helps you grow, right, in terms of your
Sure.
skill set and also the mindset that you bring into a game, right? So who knows? I mean, again, Bilal is a third-round pick, whereas I think he was picked a little bit later last time. But I mean, again, I think Tayyip plays on that team, so there must be some familiarity.
That's right. He
there.
does.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
So next we have Mohamed Saleh.
I like this guy.
going to Iman.
Yes.
Sorry.
So Mohamed Saleh has played in our league before.
Two
Mohamed
seasons
Saleh,
ago.
Sounds
yes.
familiar.
Mohamed Saleh played on that undefeated Ikhlas team that was run by Abu.
Did he?
Yes, he was on that team. He was a sneak pick by Abu,
I remember.
and he did not
So who drafted him?
perform as well. But since I believe again he's played on other teams, and I did see him at the pickup, and he looked quite skilled in the pickup. So I do think he's grown since he's played in our league, and
And look who is going to pick next, anyways, is Abu. So maybe another pick sniper. The thing I'm going to say is that we always talk about picks being sniped from people, but like this
I
has
love
been
it.
like
I love it.
I don't killer instinct.
yeah,
Like literally everyone has been stealing picks from everyone else. So I mean, Abu has got his next pick right now. It's Yusuf Kapoor at 23. So he's a second goalie going in. And didn't Yusuf play for them when they won the championship?
no, Yusuf
Ikhlas? In winter season?
was it Yusuf?
Yeah, Yusuf was on them a couple seasons, not summer, but like before that, he was with them.
So did he win the championship?
No, Yusuf was on
in
the
fall
Rida
season.
team.
He was on the Rilla team with them.
No, the fall team was Badger. Badger was on that team. They
Was
picked
he on
him,
that
yeah.
team? Okay.
Yeah, he was with the.
But
he was
Yusuf
with-
again has won best goalie 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah,
maybe-
he's solid.
Yeah, so I don't think that you can go wrong there.
He went with the goalie. He needed the goalie and went with the one that played well with him. Can't go wrong with Yusuf Kapoor. Solid goalie.
Yeah.
Hayat has the next pick at 24 to end the third round with Sadat Malik. So he's one of those defensemen. He's shut down, right?
Mhm.
Like he just played defensively.
Sorry,
And he's what the first.
sorry to interject. I'm going to put up Sadat's picture, but I think the label is mislabeled. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's a Malik, but it's Sadat.
close enough. It's
So we got the right picture wrong.
Less,
Oh
now.
less
my
Riz,
God.
less Riz on
there's,
this.
I would've
there's a
preferred-
DNA match there.
Yeah, don't put that up, okay? You know what's gonna happen to us, okay? We are not gonna be scared. Like Rizwan is in.
You
the
saw who showed up
comments.
to the finals, right?
Yeah, Riz is in the comments right now. He's never gonna. We should not have
He's
put it
already
up,
laughing. He's already laughing.
okay?
Maybe Riz won't be too angry because he went
I mean,
higher in the
Riz-
draft than he normally would.
Yeah,
I like this. I like this. Look,
This picture has
Somebody get a
more Riz or
screenshot.
less
There you
Riz?
go.
Rizwan Malik, and
There you
then
go.
he's laughing.
Riz seemed to have grown a little bit.
We're getting a
Much
lot
taller.
of LOLs from the Mullets there, so I
Love
think
it.
we're okay.
All
I
right.
love it. Bring it
All
on.
right, to on the snake then, Haya is taking Adam Punchbaya.
I'm not familiar with this player.
I don't remember Adam, but oh,
I think I saw him at pickup last week. And if I remember correctly, he's like a bigger guy, not like in the sense like he's built, like he's solid kind of guy with
I
speed.
think he played a
So,
couple seasons ago.
did he?
do remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
No?
think there was
I
another
think he's
Punchbaya.
new.
It's a lot of-
There's more than 5.
There you go.
But yeah, so the next we have from
Ryan
it-
Mahmoud.
Antakwa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rayan Mahmoud going with the 26th pick. This is another gentleman who is new to our league, correct?
He is new to the league, and I don't know too much about him, but we are excited to learn.
We'll
Welcome,
see.
brother. Welcome.
Welcome.
That's
There's going to be a lot of that this draft. All right. The next pick is Iman going with the 27th pick for Bilal Sayed. So the third goalie taken. Now, Bilal is not new to our league. He played as a defenseman in the summer season. Very solid defenseman, actually. He was on Iman. They made it to the finals. But first time playing as a goalie. Isawa, you're familiar with him, right?
I'm familiar with him as a defenseman. I only know by word of mouth about him as a goalie. I know that he plays on the Markham team.
Okay.
And
Pirates.
On the Pirates. I don't know if he is their like main goalie, but I do know that he played on their team. And he also, I can't remember which tournament it was. There was a tournament that happened earlier in the year, and he actually won the award for best defensive player. But it was a picture of him as a goalie. So I don't know if he played defense on that team or if he played goalie on that team. But I did seek out some information on him from the Markham Pirates guys. And they mentioned that he's a solid goalie and he'll stop anything he can see.
Well, if he blocks shots anyway, like he does as a defenseman, then I think Takwa is going to be in good hands. No, sorry, not Takwa. Iman's going to be in good hands.
Yeah.
All right. The next pick, we have our very own Sakib Koker going to RC on Ikhlas at 28 overall. No surprise here.
No. Fills in your second line center pretty well. He can do it all for you. So play defense, play offense. I mean, we say this a lot, but he has the capabilities to score a lot of goals. And hopefully with the right combination of guys, I think he just needs someone to feed him, and Sak will score. We've said it all the time, but hopefully it clicks.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's been dealing with some injury issues, but inshallah, he'll heal quickly and be able to play relatively soon. Next, we have Wasim Kagzi going 29th overall to Isan. I mean, this is a Dawood pick.
This is a Dawood pick, but
He's
it's also a
pick.
great pick.
It's an amazing pick. Like, I'm looking at this team right now. I was like, holy
Is he
moly!
on
Like
again?
that team is going to be solid. Like on defense, they got Farouk Khan, they got Essen Zedi and Kagzi as true
What?
defensemen.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
how do you get three of those guys on the same team? That's just unreal. I'm sorry. And he just won.
They
He's
don't
just
even
fresh
need
off
it
his first
for-
championship in Iceland.
They don't need four defensemen with those three there.
And they have Hamoudi too. They really need another one.
Yeah. This team,
I'll be honest with you, this is looking like
Okay,
the
so
scariest
look,
team right now.
it is a scary team on paper skill wise.
Yes.
This is also a team of guys that are very vocal.
Yeah.
Right. So if,
Vocal.
and this is just my own
They could.
unsolicited assessment, is that they need to figure out who the voice on this team is. Otherwise,
Well, Luke's the same thing. Luke's team is the same thing.
well, I mean,
Not as
I
much.
think that when Luke talks, everybody stays quiet, right? Like, I mean, it is what it is. But here, you have some very strong personalities on this team, right? And so I think that someone's gonna have to, like, I mean, Mo is quite vocal on the, and you've been on this team,
Yeah.
right?
So is Essen. Essen takes.
I
Yeah.
haven't been with Essen, but
Essen
yeah,
completely takes over.
they have the potential to, if they don't figure that out, they could really implode
yes.
and really have a very, very long, difficult season. And
So
I'm just trying to think. I had a recent season like that where I was on a team. I can't remember. I'm not trying to avoid the thing, but there were just too many voices on the team, and we just couldn't get it going because of that. So, totally with you on that.
yeah,
Next, we have Amr Khwaja going 30th, or also another defensive defenseman to Suber. So, Omer Saint, so he's going to be your D partner. How do you feel? You're going to love this.
Oh,
I mean, I've played with Amr
Sure, we're
a couple of
texting him?
seasons.
Yeah.
Sure,
I played with him on Iman, I believe, and I played with him on Rida, and it was great. I mean, he's the kind of guy that you put your trust in, right? And he will say go when you need to go, and he will handle it, no problem. And so I'm quite happy. I'm happy to have that D partner.
I just had the honor of playing on the same team as him this season and this past season, and he was awesome. Like, he's great out there.
I will say this: he's finally getting the recognition he deserves as a defenseman. He has been a solid shutdown defenseman for years. I played with him for, I would say, almost 10 years now, and he's finally getting the recognition. He should always be higher in the draft, and teams are recognizing his shutdown.
All right, next at 31 overall, Yakin takes Muhammad Kasuji. So this is another guy who is new to our league. But no, is he?
So according to
No, he's not new.
he's not new, but I think he hasn't played in a long time. Like, I don't think
Okay.
he's played in the hangar
Okay,
era.
so that's kind of my.
But my understanding is that he was playing when you guys were out in the West End, and there's a picture of him on a championship team on the green team. It was floating around. But in any case, my understanding is that at least back then he was quite good. He is Asif Bika's cousin,
So they were probably maybe trying to get him on the next pick, but
maybe.
all right,
Maybe.
we'll see. Next, speaking of the next pick, you have Rida taking 32 overall, Akbar Omar.
This is Mohib's pick. I don't know too much about him, but Mohib mentioned that his friend was joining, and he wanted to confirm that his friend got in. And
He asked
it
me
was,
too,
it
yeah.
was
His friend
Akbar.
is
Yeah,
in.
his Akbar. And again, I mean, whenever Mohib is inquiring about an individual, you have to assume that there's some skill that is not being communicated to us.
So Mohib, I asked him, it's like, oh, who is this guy? He said that he's like, oh, he's a first, I mean, a second liner. I'm like, really? You're asking me about a second liner? He's like, oh, maybe he's a first liner. He doesn't score a lot, but he's really fast, defensively sound, and he can pot in a couple goals. So I'll probably take that up a notch and say this guy is going to be, key to this team's success on offense. Next, at 33rd overall on the Snake, Rida is taking our very own Arif Khan. Arif, any words here on joining Mohib? Have you played on Mohib's team before?
No,
Oh no,
I
you play pickup with him.
I play pickup with him. We did quite well. He's fun to play with. But also on that team, I have never played with Asif, so looking forward to that. I played with Ajmal quite a bit. Ali Wadi, I got to play 2 games before he
Oh, that's
traded
true.
me. So
Yeah.
maybe since he's not a GM, he won't trade me.
I'm sure he can whisper something in someone's ear.
No, this looks like a fun team though. There are a lot of good brothers there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Great. At 34 overall, we have for Yakin, Omar Abdullah. And this guy is also new. I think he's also from the Malton crew. I saw him at pickup last week, and he's another one of those guys that is, he's broad built, broad shoulders. He can really run, and he has an offensive touch. So I think he's going to be a great addition. And he might be kind of that power forward
Omar
guy.
Abdullah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually didn't have anything on him in the scouting report. He's
I saw he was like at the end.
He's
but
at
I'm like,
the end.
oh,
It's
really?
all non-applicable. We don't know.
Yeah.
And
Someone
I had
knows.
asked Jami about him just on my way here.
Yeah.
And Jami's like, yeah, he's not.
Guys, he's I played with him on Sunday.
Yeah.
He should be going like in first or second round
Really?
in this draft.
Yeah.
So for him
so
to be
who picked him
picked
again?
at 5th, that's a massive
he's like
steal.
a broad shouldered guy, right?
I don't know what broad shoulder guy, but I don't know. He looked really good on the Sunday games. Like he was playing defense, but I understand he's also plays
Also
forward.
playing with like a bunch of
Um,
washed up. No.
that too. But he was
Kidding.
dominating with him there. So if it's the person I think it is,
It is.
It's
So I
it's
had
a
asked
really good
Jami
pick.
about him from the Hanger Hockey, right? And
Yeah.
And so this must be. I mean, he does. I know he's involved in like the ISNA hockey.
Yeah.
That happens
Yeah.
there. So he must be known to Maz and.
He had
Fahad.
a cool hockey jersey, so that also implies that he plays on some other good
Oh,
teams.
there you go.
He must know about
I mean,
hockey.
we have some cool jerseys too. So. I mean,
All right. So next pick, Sabr picked 35th overall, Abid Payat. Any relation to Sajid?
I don't know, but there was a comment further up where somebody was mentioning that Abid Bayat is a steal of the draft.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see that.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what his skill set is, but again, it seems like
Throw in the comments,
Omar
guys.
Hussein and Zaid know something that we don't know.
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
Yep.
And then Bucks, just as you predicted, at 36 overall, Isan takes Mikhail Zaidi 3 rounds after they picked Essa and his dad.
Oh, I expected 2 rounds.
You're off by 1. That's pretty close.
Well, I'm just happy that we are not going to have to facilitate a trade, right? That
We're not facilitating trades. We didn't have to
Yeah.
listen to anyone
Well, that's what I
requesting
meant. That's what I
anything.
meant.
Yeah, no, it's good. At least, yeah, it's great. They get to play together, no right issues. And he's a speedy guy. He's had some great games. He can come in clutch sometimes, so it'll be good. Next, we have for Ikhlas, Fahad Panchbayat again.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I-
another guy that Abu would normally take. Although Fahad, you know what? He's
Fahad
one of
plays
those
around.
guys that has played on a lot of teams, not with Abu. So
No, but having been on the team with Fahad and Abu and Kazi and Yusuf, they rely on Fahad a lot. Like Fahad is your second line center. Fahad will score goals for you. He'll kill penalties for you. He does everything. Whatever you
Yeah.
need him to do, he'll do it. Right. And I love playing with Fahad. Fahad is such a great personality to have. So I do know
Really good
that
all around player.
they are disappointed that he's gone. And honestly, like,
Sorry,
could you have
pick him
picked
up?
two worse?
Asan, RC.
Could you have picked two worse teams to be before
right,
you?
Ikhlas.
Right, Ikhlas and Iman are
Uh-huh.
really just
Decimating
yeah.
Abu.
Right, but again, I do believe that there is probably a wealth of Malton talent to choose from, but they might not be getting their guys right.
Yeah. All right, another defenseman, Taha Azhar. Although some would argue whether he plays defense or he's more of a forward.
I think
But
he's your third tier of defenseman, but he is again, honestly, a very very good
Speed.
personality to have. He's so fast, right? So fast and controlled speed. He's not necessarily going to score a lot of goals, but he will definitely wear the other defense down.
Cool.
Hustles.
And hustles hard, right? So a good pick. And this is again another familiar pick for Adam. We played together in the winter
Couple
season.
ago, yeah.
Yeah, last winter season. So last fall season rather. Sorry. So again, familiar pick there.
All right. At 39, we have Takwa taking Farhan Saleh.
I don't know too much about. The name sounds familiar though. Like I wouldn't.
There was another. There's Saleh Awesome. That's the only. I keep getting them mixed up when I was going through the prep on this, but
No, I mean, if we don't have a picture of him, I would assume that that's not the case.
Most
But
likely not.
I mean, welcome, brother, and again, we are. I mean,
Abu definitely knows him if he's taking to this. So
yeah,
we'll find
right?
out.
So we'll find out.
And just a public service announcement. I know some of the new guys. Obviously, we don't have pictures of them because they're new. But there's some older guys who also don't have pictures. So yes, make sure you get your pictures taken when
This
asked.
Friday, I'll be looking for you.
That's
All right.
It's not optional. Guys. It's not optional.
And to end the fifth round, right? Yeah. We have Hussein Malik going to Haya. No surprise here, Malik going in. Hussein's a really, really tall guy, lanky. And
I
yeah,
think he dropped a little bit. I thought he'd be going
Dropped
up
a lot.
higher.
He did not have the best
Yeah.
summer season,
Yeah, I remember.
right? It's just the reality. He didn't have the best summer season, and
He had that one season where he was really good.
Oh,
in
he's
the
a rookie.
beginning.
Yeah,
He was
rookie.
tearing it up. I think all the
No one knew
accolades
him.
got to his head, and then
well, no one knew him, right? You kind of sneak under the radar,
Yeah.
and you only have one chance at that. And then on the snake, then 41st overall, Haya also takes Khalid Mufti, and this is a guy who they're familiar with. He's their go-to goalie. I'd say 90% of the time whenever he's available. So
he's everybody's
He's
goalie
solid.
whenever he's available.
and honestly, this guy he was like lights out in the finals just now in the summer season. Like you guys, and I say you guys because you were on Yakin. If it wasn't for him in that first game in the first 5 minutes, the series would have been over at that point.
I agree.
Like he was just like unreal. Like so.
Khalid is one of my favorite goalies to play in front of. So it's a very weird thing because forwards don't understand this, right? But you have a very special relationship with your goalie, right? And if you guys are not in sync, then the game is miserable, right? For both you and the goalie. And so when Khalid communicates with you, he is very concise in his instructions. So goalie, when you're in front of the goalie, he wants you to move, but not every goalie will say move left or right, right? Khalid will say left, Khalid will say right, and then you get out of the way so that he can see the shot. And not just that, but like he also trusts me as a defenseman to remove any personnel from his crease so that he can do his job, right? So I love playing with Khalid Mufti. I hate playing against him because him and Ali Khawaja are the only two goalies that have not been able to score on. So I mean,
I have
Khalid,
I have a question, though.
challenge accepted.
I have a question. A lot of the goalies are really good. Is there a bad choice for goalie this year?
There is not.
No,
There's not a bad choice for goalie.
there's so much talent.
So
Yeah.
why couldn't they pick him in the end?
Why couldn't they pick him in the
Someone
end?
else will.
I know.
No,
Does it matter?
There's someone you're familiar with, right?
know.
And
Yeah.
you want him.
I'm
And,
just throwing it out.
But then also, like, I mean, look, from a GM's perspective, like you also build your team again. If you have certain personnel on defense, like again, maintaining that relationship of goalie and defenseman, some guys just they jive better with certain personalities. I love playing in front of Yusuf Kapoor, but Yusuf doesn't talk, right? So Yusuf doesn't say anything to you. And if I screen him and I let him go, he'll just be like, it's okay, man, don't worry about it, right? Whereas like I want him to yell at me, I want him to push me with the stick or whatever it is, and just, like, have me get out of the way. So different defensemen work better with certain goalies.
Khalid is the only goalie who I've won a championship with in Islam. I've only played on his team once, so that's my addition to the conversation.
There you go.
Then we have 42nd overall going to Taqwa, Mohammed Suleiman Patel. Sorry, you had something on your screen there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, sorry. I mean, I feel bad for the players on Taqwa because we likely don't know a lot of you guys. I will just default to the
Just
line
make sure
where-
we know you as the season goes on,
I'm
and
sure we
we'll
will.
be sure to talk about you
No,
in
Exactly.
the podcast
I'm
during
gonna
the
throw it
course of
out
the
to
season.
everyone who's watching. 62 eyes. Let's guys throw in the chat if you know something about some of these new players. I'm sure most of you do, and if they're already chosen, then let's get some comments. I like Kashif has been saying a couple things about a couple of players, so let's throw in the comments and then we'll get on the screen.
All right, next we got Ahmar Wasif going 43rd overall to Iman. So this is someone I believe they're familiar with.
Oh my god,
Yep.
I don't think he's ever in the recent seasons played not on Adam's team.
Yeah,
right.
and I
Adam
think
loves.
that's like a familiarity pick.
Yeah, he
Different
loves.
jersey this time, right? I see him in green. All the
Yeah,
time.
right. So I mean, Adam is just picking guys that he knows he can jive with, right? Picking guys that he knows he can play with. Or maybe he's just run out of listed guys he knows, and he's just relying on. Sorry, maybe
All
he's
the
just,
above.
right? Yeah, maybe his rankings are exhausted, and he's just who
He's like,
knows.
Yeah.
Do I pick up a towel?
But Amar can score, right? And I played on the team with him, and whenever he is given the ability in a good spot, the ball will go in. So again, we're looking at our second, third line here now, and you can't go wrong with Amar.
Yeah. And then 44th overall, we have Ikhlas, so RC and Co taking Yasser Habib. So
What a
Ooh,
steal!
like
That's
at
a major
44, wow, like
I'll
that's
call that the steal of the draft right there because I played with him last season.
Steal so far.
he's solid. He's solid.
Yeah. Honestly, Yasser Habib should have gone in the top 2 rounds in the summer, and I do think that he probably should have gone 2 rounds higher than this. There's a number of players that I would have taken after Yasser Habib that have already been picked, but he can score. He's physical,
And he can play defense.
and I don't know what I've never seen him play defense, but
Plays
but he is also a very good centerman. Right,
Yep.
he'll win your draws. He's a north south kind of guy. So I'm excited.
A high hockey IQ.
yeah.
I played with him in the summer. He's a very good overall player.
I think he'll fit in very well on this team. What's
All right.
interesting though is this team has a lot of people that can play center. Right, you have Sakib who can play center. You have Fahad who can play center. You have Yasser who can play center. Right, you have RC who can play center. Right, so they're usually your centerman is a very shallow position on your team,
Yeah.
which is not a problem for these guys. So kudos to you guys. I mean, I would. It's very frustrating as a defenseman when your center can't win a draw, right? And you keep losing the draw over and over and over again. So I don't think this will be a problem on this.
Isn't defensively minded, doesn't have that defensive sense either,
Exactly.
right? 45th overall, Isan Dawood takes Hamza Butt. So in the finals, no, wait, never mind. Forget what I said. I'm getting confused.
He was filling in the finals.
Yeah, but not for Dawood.
What do you mean? He was
in the finals, but not
he was
for
in the
Dawood.
finals, not for Dawood.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he
I'm
did
getting confused.
He filled in a game in the winter season for Dawood. That's how he was introduced to the league.
Got it. Okay. So there you go. I mean, a solid pick. He was my goalie or our goalie in the summer season. You know what? He's solid. He's a big guy. Very focused. That's all I can say. All right. Next at 46 overall, we got Zahid Hussain going to Suber. And no surprise here. He joins his brothers Omar and Rayaz here. So otherwise we'd have some riot issues.
There you go.
That's a
good
right
hustle.
Pick. It's a right pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But you know what? He's
Good
great.
pick where
and
it is.
he's really evolved over the years, over the seasons he's played, and he's a lot of hustle, and he has an offensive touch. Depending on whether he plays defense or he plays forward, we'll see. Next, we got Hashim Chaudhry going to Yakin at 47 overall. That's another good pick for Yakin.
That's
And
a great pick.
yeah, and depending, I wonder he'll probably play defense on this team now, given where he was drafted, or given everyone that's
Yeah.
drafted before them.
But
Right?
Hashim can also play forward, and he plays
can, yeah.
forward
He likes
in
playing
another
forward.
league. But I like this again. The team is shaping up to be quite well drafted so far.
All right. Then at 48 to end the 6th round, we have Saleh Asim going to Mohib on Rida. And Saleh, any words on him?
Well, me.
Look, you know what? He's a tall guy. He will play.
He plays D.
He plays D, but I think I've seen him play forward too.
I've seen him go up.
Listen, the guy put up seven
Seven
goals and
six
6
assists
assists.
last season. There you go. That's a lot.
How do we not know about him?
No. I mean, I know about him. I don't know what we were waiting for, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought you were going to say something.
No, sorry.
It's okay.
I feel like I've been talking a lot. I mean, Bucks didn't bring
That's why
me.
we
any
have you here.
Well, Bucks didn't bring me any Tim Hortons, so I'm parched at this
I
point.
got donuts right here for you.
Well, that's not a drink. And no, so Saleh, I'll say 2 things about him. Number one, he's super high skill, right? In my opinion, right? He plays really, really good defense. He's extremely athletic, and thank you.
Thank you, please.
He's actually here.
Yeah. And he is a great personality, right? He's very calm.
I'm shocked he dropped this low.
Well, I think that Abdullah was probably getting set to draft him at some point. Maybe he waited a little bit too long. I don't think Abdullah and him have been separated very many times this season. I don't think they're related, but in any case, I mean, it's a solid pick. You can't go wrong with Saleh.
All right. Start the 7th round. We go with Naheem also going to Rida. No surprise, Mohib's brother. He was going to end up there at some point.
but
maybe
this
a little
is
surprised that he went so late.
So
That's really
late.
good,
You know, in the
yeah.
summertime,
He's very talented.
he was in the top 10 of scoring in the summer. Probably a little higher. No, he was in the top.
He's right up there.
six.
He must have been up there.
Yeah, no, he was.
The season before, he showed a lot of skill.
Yeah, and not just that, but like Naeem and his brother have extremely good chemistry.
They do.
Like Mohib would draw like the second defender over a little bit, and then Naeem would basically put the goal in. Not just that, but he has some end to ends as well. So I mean, I remember when Naeem first joined, he took a break from hockey, and it seems like his rust is, he's shaking the rust a little bit.
100%.
And so it's a great pick by Mohib here.
And he won the Brotherhood Award for the summer season.
Yeah.
He's he's a great locker room presence. Very he's very supportive out there. So great pick there. At 50, you got Amr Multani going to Yakin. Like
That is
at 50? Are you kidding me?
Well, I think people are going to start to realize, like, again, we've known Multani for a long time. Not everyone has. People are going to understand what the veteran presence
no.
is.
What are you
and
talking
all
about,
that.
man? Like
Not everyone knows about Multani. and
everybody,
All these
here
guys
knows
know
about
about Multani.
With the exception of Rida, I would say everybody here should know about Multani.
But
But
not
Ajmal
everyone,
should
not
know,
everyone
like,
knows about the
everyone should
intangibles that he
know.
brings.
Look, Farouk is Multani's like
Yeah.
confidant,
yeah.
as you mentioned,
Confidant.
right?
Yes.
Okay, like they GM together, right?
They gel together.
They gel together.
I think that people were hoping that he would slide and eventually
Slide
he's
where, my
sliding,
friend?
sliding.
Multani is their pure goal scorer.
Just
like-
remember,
he's at
back
50.
in the day, I think Amir he lit up the score sheet by playing with Maz,
Oh, that's right. He did.
right? And now this is a pick for Maz as a winger.
Wow.
Mazin Fahad are doing a great job. Good job, boys.
Multani can play on the first line, he can play on the second line, he can do whatever you want. So I think it's a great pick, and again, more scoring. Why not?
There you go. 8 goals, 6 assists in the summer season.
Naeem.
For Naeem. Then at 51, we got Ali Haroun going to Sabah. Now you're most familiar with him. Ali has been away from the hangar for a couple seasons, or a few seasons.
Yeah, so I mean, Ali was dealing with injury, which is why he took a break from Iceland. But I mean, he's back. He's
He had the ACL, the MCL.
he is I'm not gonna put anybody's
We
medical.
don't talk about people's
Yeah, I'm
injuries,
gonna put
man.
anyways
He's
medical
injured.
history out on I don't know.
By the way, Bucksh has. No, I'm kidding.
Don't put my medical history out there.
But in any case, I mean,
Both.
he is. I mean, I played with him in the summer. He's definitely in game shape. I'm not gonna say my fingerprints are on this pick, but Ali Haroun is a good friend of mine, and it's a great pick.
Text
where we
them.
got
You
him.
better pick him.
All right. Then we got at 52, we got Ishaq Bayat going to Isan. This is definitely a Dawood pick.
Oh, it is. I mean, that was again going with familiarity here. He's the guy that will hustle, good north south. I think Dawood knows what he's getting here. Like again, you're into your second borderline third lines here, right? And so Ishaq is definitely someone that I believe Dawood will.
Is he
yeah.
been a defenseman? I've seen him as a forward. No.
Yeah.
He plays forward primarily, but I do think that he'll fill in on D if you need. But again, great pick.
I guess that's based on what he signed up as. So he's probably signing up as a
On
defenseman. So,
Dawood's team, you don't think you need a defenseman at this point.
yeah, that's true. So Dawood just picked, but then the next pick is going to Ikhlas is Dawood Habib at 53.
I do not know this player, but I
Mm-hmm.
have heard about him.
That's what I thought. Like the name sounds familiar, but I just can't. Picture him.
Is he the one that was affiliated to another organization? Or
Yeah.
He works with another Muslim Balki elite.
No, I don't know.
Not that I'm familiar with.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, this one's not dealing with Dawood. This is
No.
about a correction about Hanif Kosi.
in any case,
I
mean,
do
yeah.
recall Dawood.
yeah.
Habib.
Look, at this point, you have to be suspicious of all of RC's picks, right? So,
There's a method to it.
there's a method. There's a method to the madness, and we expect him to slide in and fit nicely on the team.
I think the championship teams are going to be won in these last little picks where you don't know who the guys are and they're going to come in with extra value.
Yeah. Next, we've got Dawood Khan. So this one we're familiar with at 54. So he joins his brother Hood. So I wonder if Hood had anything to do with this.
Well, I mean, he actually, I think, legitimately has right issues. So,
Well, I mean, they can hang out for the night, but
yeah, I guess. I mean,
anyone can.
I guess so.
Dawood is a decent-
Dawood is a developing puck moving defenseman, right?
I wouldn't discount his like defensive side of his game either, though. Like I remember one game this summer though where we're playing against you, or was he? Yeah, he was on your team, and we just kept going down into the zone trying to enter on his side, and he just kept rejecting it. And I was like, guys, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? So like he's solid, and I think he's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, I mean he's only 17 or 18 years old, right? So
Yeah.
I mean it's only up from here.
these guys get older, they get bigger, they fill in to their bodies, and we
Just
have a
look at
great
Buck.
player.
Yeah.
I was never yes. no.
Yeah. There you go.
He's so past his body.
RF, after this round, can we throw up the
Yeah,
spreadsheet
sure.
for these guys that are asking? Abdullah Sadiq Patel.
At
Another-
55.
Another Abdullah Patel. Again, I apologize, guys. We're
Abdullah
not
Sadiq Patel. ASP. Okay, ASP. What is his name?
ASP.
ASP.
Yeah, another Abdullah Patel. I mean, maybe someone in the comments can help us out. But unfortunately, we're not familiar with the player. But we can only imagine that if you are Abu's 7th round pick, then he knows something we don't.
He's very responsive to emails. That's all I can say.
He's a
So-
second round pick in the
Yeah.
shadows.
All right, at 56, we go with another Malik Tahaya with Ismail. So Ismail, you actually got picked this time.
All right.
The right
so-
Ismail.
Yeah, the right Ismail. So you know what? This guy, he had some key plays in the finals. He scored 1 goal there, right?
Yeah, but he had an
Well,
even
but-
better regular season, right?
he did.
And,
He had a good season.
I mean, they called him the professor.
Really?
Yeah, that was his nickname on his team. He was the professor. I don't know why he was called the professor. Maybe because he was really good at.
He's the
studying-
mathematician in the background. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but he is extremely skilled at scoring goals. It seems like if he's able to kind of cut down that wing, like Omar Mahmoud will cut down the wing and then he'll drive to the net. Ismail, what he'll do is he will cut down the wing and then he'll shoot when you don't expect him to shoot, and it will go in. So I think that it's a good pick and a familiar pick, and I think it's a lot of pressure off, right? If you look where he got picked, you almost think that he's probably like rounding out your second line,
Yep.
which is probably a good spot for him to take advantage a little bit of teams that are not ready or prepared.
Great. So start off the 8th round then. Haya takes Adam Sheikh at 57. Oh, sorry.
Let's throw up the.
Yeah, we'll throw up the draft board. Sorry, guys.
throw up the draft board. Let's see what's going on. All right. Let's see.
All right. So you know what? I'm sticking with what I said earlier. Is that Rida and Isan are kind of looking like my favorites at this point. Granted, there are a lot of guys out there that I'm not familiar with, so it could change significantly. But right now, like Rida and Isan are looking great.
Yeah, honestly, it's hard for me to say because there's so many names on here that I'm not familiar with.
Exactly.
Right. So I apologize. Like I usually by now I can really make an assessment, but it's so hard. Like for instance, if I look at a team like Taqwa, like I have no idea,
Yeah.
right, if they're
It's
going to
true.
be really good or if they're not going to be really good. I have no idea who's on their team, right? I can look at even their top 5. Like I don't know who these guys are. So if I go with by like what I know, I am quite impressed with how Ikhlas has shaped up. I am also quite impressed with Rida, and don't discount Yakin either.
True. I guess. Well, their defense is concerning me a little bit, but
And Yakin?
yeah.
Well, no, they have Hashim. They have Omar Abdullah. They have
Is Umar Abdullah a defenseman?
yeah. So the assessment on him was that he's your quarterback D. Like he is like
Okay.
someone that you have Zakaria, even Wakar.
Oh, yeah,
I heard.
Zakaria, I
I heard. Yeah, I heard.
Wakar does
Oh,
play D
and-
sometimes.
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
we're not there yet.
and so Wakar apparently played defense in pickup, and according to RF,
Well, he's played in games too. At
Has he?
Iceland. Yeah, he has.
Wakar's just an all-around good guy, man.
He is.
Yeah, Wakar's
All right.
not going to be playing D either. He's
Oh, probably not. No,
He's-
but
he's
he
your
can if he needs
best
to.
power
RF,
forward.
RF has already put it. He's like, I'm the captain now. Wakar's not playing.
He's not even on the team.
I'm not even on his team.
Oh, sorry.
He's already dictating what's happening on
he's
other
dictating
teams.
what's happening on other teams.
No, I was.
I brought
He's
this
been
up,
traded
I
now.
brought this up last time, but the young GMs, I wanted to see how they were going to pick, and how do you guys assess how those guys have picked so far?
It's hard to say because we don't know. Like
You-
if you look at if you classify them as young GMs, right? You look at Adam Ahmed, for instance, and Junaid and Bilal, like they picked a team that almost looks exactly like a team they've picked in the past. You know what I'm saying?
And we know what happened to that type of team previously. Now, what's going to happen in this season?
It's hard to say because that team was almost like a year ago, right? And so this is a team of players that have grown by a year, and maybe they're taking the next step, and,
Youth,
and we don't
speed
know.
versus skill, and,
Yeah.
and veteran. What happens over there? Like you're talking about a lot of teams here who are built with veterans, and then a lot of teams are built with youth and speed. So what do you think is going to happen here?
On Iman in particular,
Sure.
I mean, I think that they're probably eyeing a little bit of familiarity, but I think you're gonna have to rely on guys to step up. Like, I mean, Hood at 11, like Hood, if you don't pick it up, I'm sorry, like that is going to be
It's
a
lot of pressure-
detriment to
lot
the
of
team.
pressure for
Team's
who
built
that
around you, right?
Yeah, but then you also have like someone like Mohamed Kazi, right, who can probably calm you down a little bit, adds another element. But I would agree with Imad's assessment, right? And again, we've been severely wrong before, by the way. Like we've picked teams that come out ahead who have not made the playoffs, right? So I mean, we're not trying to jinx anyone, but I do like the way that.
Or Jinx tell you from the summer, but anyways,
I did I?
someone did.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
So-
but anyways,
so-
I like Rida and I like Ehsan.
Yeah.
And I like Ikhlas in terms of this how they've drafted to respective positions. Now
The
that-
diversity of their team.
exactly. Like I mean, you can't just look at like a roster and be like, look at all these beautiful names on here, right? And
Look at all
not,
these Patels. and
Mashallah.
yeah, there you go.
All right, at 57, we'll probably do another draft show or a podcast just to talk about analysis of each of the teams. But just to go on 57 now, to start off the 8th round, we have Adam Sheikh, who is not Zia Nakuda.
Sorry, buddy.
But again, I think this brother is new to the league as well, if I'm not mistaken. Is he? No.
I think Adam Sheikh played a couple of seasons ago.
I'm not sure.
Adam Sheikh, was he
Okay.
the one that Habibi was said was a really good, like the young defenseman?
No, that's Awesome Sheikh.
Awesome Sheikh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that sounds-
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
All right. Well, we'll get to know you, Adam. At 58, we have Zia Nakuda going to Taqwa. So Zia had a really good summer season. He really gelled on the first line with Muhib and Hamoudi. And, you know, if he's given an opportunity, if they kind of shuffle their lines and depending on how all these other unknown guys play out, I think he could have a really good season.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, Zia's one of my students and or one of my alumni now, and he's fast, athletic. He has just hesitated when it comes to shooting the ball, right? And that has been the biggest knock on him, right? Is
Yeah.
that like if it's a tap in, he's golden, right? But if it comes to like any sort of decision making where it's pass or shoot, he ends up getting a little bit crossed up a little bit. So I'm hoping that he gets that opportunity with Taqwa to sort of make some decisions, and if he is able to make decisions, I mean, he can score. So good luck.
All right. At 59, we have Iman taking Ihtisam Qureshi.
Oh man,
No, this is a
Oh,
great pick.
solid
this
Like
is
at-
a solid
in
pick.
8th round. I mean, this guy, he runs, he plays hard,
He can
provides
play on your
leadership,
second line.
calming presence. He can score. Like, what doesn't he
He's
do?
one of my favorite people in Islam ever. Right? I played on his team when I was on Adam's team,
All around power
and
forward.
he is just a very calming presence in the locker room, on the bench. Never too high, never too low, right? And he's very physical,
Plays with
right?
grit.
I do not enjoy playing against him.
All right. At 60, we finally have Rizwan Malik. So let's see if we can actually get his picture
Riz.
lined up with his name.
All-star.
At 60 to Ikhlas.
Look at that pose, beautiful.
Wow,
look
he's-
at that. Look
he's
at that.
Definitely done this before.
I know, right?
Uh,
You could put that on
that's
an
the
all-star
real
driving
Riz.
business card.
That's the real Riz right there.
So he goes to RC now. I don't know if I've ever seen him play with RC on RC's team before. So, I mean, not that I think he's going to have any issue. He'll fit in and he'll provide that leadership presence there and intensity to the team. Which, you know what, you look at it, and I don't know if they have that person there who's going to like
They got him now.
yell and be that loud voice in the locker room.
Oh, they got him now.
So they finally have someone.
Yeah. And so, I mean, again, Riz is another one of my beloved teammates from the past. And I look forward to the days that we can play together again. But he's just a general on the floor, right? He commands a certain respect from both the team that he plays on and the team that he's playing against. And he hustles. He leaves it all, he leaves everything on the floor. And so that's just one of the things that I love and respect about Riz.
And he expects everyone else to have the same hustle.
And that is a reasonable request.
Yes. Next at 61, we have Ihsan taking Ibrahim Hindi. So again, I mean,
Familiar pick.
familiar pick. And this guy, he'll slot in at center. At this point, maybe even second line center. But again, that depth that they have on Ihsan right now, he could potentially even be their third line center.
Yeah.
Reliable
I mean,
guy.
yeah, I mean, the only-
he'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his attendance will be like. That has always been, a critical point for teams that draft Ibrahim, given his responsibilities in the community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when he's able to commit to, a large chunk of games, he's definitely a difference maker, especially when it comes to winning draws.
Yeah. Then at 62, Sabr takes Saifdeen Sheikh, who is also a new brother to the league. So we look forward to getting to know you this season. And then next at 63, Yakin takes Zaid Qadri. So I was just talking about him at the beginning of the draft. I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah, he was slotted way hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could definitely play on the second line. Maybe even the first line, depending on the situation, with the right people. You think?
He's a great kid. I mean,
Yeah.
he was on our team, and he's consistently hustling. I'm gonna be interested to see how his game translates to higher competition.
Yeah.
I think that he had a little bit more space than he'll have in this season in the summer.
But the first season he played, he was a lot smaller. Like honestly, he looked like he was 12. No offense, but you're younger.
That was
But-
also the
but
summer though.
No, I don't think that was
It
the
was
summer.
it was the summer.
Was it summer?
It was the summer. He was on Multani's team.
Yeah, Takwa.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
summer. And so again, summer
Got
is you have a little bit more space.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But I would say if he's on your third line, he was probably going to elevate your third line more than some other guys might elevate their team's third line. But he's only getting better. He's still a young kid. And he definitely has, handles and skills. So it's a great pick, right? It's a great pick. And I have a feeling this probably has Altaf written on it, right? Because Altaf played with him.
Right.
And you can't go wrong at 63, guys.
64. You have Azar Zafar going to Rida. Now, again, like in the end of the 8th round, you have Azar Zafar going. Like this guy has infinite energy and does not stop.
And he can score and play
Yeah.
defense and play basically anything that you want him to do, right? He is. He can also be physical. There's no world where Azar Zafar should be picked in the 8th round.
He had more than a point per game, 9 points in 7 games in the summer. He's going to do well.
And he's one of those guys that play even better in the playoffs.
Yeah,
He brings that intensity.
yep. The veteran presence.
Yeah. So just kick off the 9th round. Rida takes Sulman Bhatti at 65.
Again, what the
Ninth
heck?
round.
I know, just like crazy.
But you,
Right.
but
It's
you
not
like
the
to
same
see it.
Sulman Bhatti from those Oakville days, but wow, he still has that rocket shot, and he'll contribute, right? Like, he knows how to play.
And you have to. I thought that Maz would have targeted him a little bit
I thought
earlier
so, too.
because Maz loves playing with him.
Yeah,
He was part of their championship team,
that first season.
But he lost out, I guess. And
So sorry, where you
I'm liking this
Yeah,
Rida
with
team
Rida.
though.
yeah, I'm also liking this Rida team.
Yeah,
You have to say that, Arif. So
So not just that, just not even from a hockey perspective, just the squad. It looks like a fun team to be around.
I think
All right.
this is just mainly saying the amount of depth that there is in Iceland this season.
Yeah.
I just don't like wearing that jersey, but
no, what are you gonna do? At 66, we have Abbas Amarshi, so a solid defenseman going to Yakin. Although I think he's shown some preference to playing forward. It hasn't necessarily worked out given the composition of the teams he's been on, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
At 67, we have Ibrahim Baidu going to Suburb, and this is a new brother to the league, correct? Anyone familiar with him?
I'm not familiar. Yeah, must be.
Okay.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Welcome. Naeem Malik goes to Isan at 68. He came back in the summer, first time in a while, and now he's back for a second season in a row. I think he had a pretty good, solid season in the summer. Uses his body and his presence to have an
Absolutely.
impact on the game.
Absolutely, and I mean, if his attendance is there for the team, if he's allowed to based on his schedule, play majority of the games, it's a steal. To be honest with you, a lot of these guys that are coming in this 8th, 9th round I'm seeing here, these all are high contributors to teams. It's going to be interesting to see how teams look when they're fully benched.
Next at 69, we have Amr Hanif, versatile guy, right? Going to Ikhlas.
I low, man, low. Like I mean,
I know.
Amr is your solid, reliable defenseman.
And center. Takes face-offs and everything.
Well, there you go, right? And so again, RC great pick, and none of good things.
He'll gel well with that team.
I think so, right? I think so.
At 70, we have Iman taking very own Habibi
Habibs.
Ahmed Ibrahim. So I guess this is going to be someone who maybe Adam isn't as familiar with from a playing perspective. But
it's always good to have the commissioner on
Iman.
your team.
yeah, I know. It maybe doesn't quite help you, but all right. So that'll be good. Then at 71, we have Faisal Mehboob going to Taqwa. And I mean, Abu's very familiar with Faisal, right? They've played
love
really
Faisal.
well with him. Good chemistry there, both inside on the floor and in the locker room. So
And production based on where you get him right now, like Faisal can
Good pick.
score.
Yeah.
Faisal can do everything. He's an all-around great player, and one of the only guys that have a wooden stick still. So you know what?
Well, there you go. Zayan Kazi at 72. Not familiar.
Yeah. It goes to Haya.
He goes to Haya.
Then at 73, you have Muhammad Raza Kareem, also going to Haya. And this is also another brother who's new to the league. I don't think any of us. are
He's
familiar.
picking up all these youngsters.
Yeah, they might know something. Then we got Taqwa at 74, taking Maz Ismail Mullah. Another guy.
I think I played with him on the pickup.
Okay.
If I think it is, he looked like a pretty solid bruiser type defenseman. Right?
Yeah.
So it might be a
Shutdown
pretty
D?
good pick.
Shut down D. Shut down defenseman.
No, he had some decent handles too. Right?
Okay, nice.
All right, we'll
So
see how that
Welcome,
plays
welcome
out.
to the league, brother. Looking forward to seeing you.
Okay, at 75, we have Essen Vasif joining his brother Ahmar on Iman. So again, I mean, similar type players in terms of they both play hard, they listen, they want to be part of the team and do what needs to be done to support their teammates, right?
Mhm.
Then at 76, you have Umar Dean going to Ikhlas. He's one of those defensemen. He's like a shutdown guy, right?
He is very hard to get around.
Yeah.
Like
Shut
he is not your fastest defenseman, but like getting around him is very difficult, right? It's very frustrating actually. He has an active stick and he's very rarely, if ever, out of position. So good pick there. I think that he'll complement. Like again, you're looking at like your possibly fifth, sixth D here, right?
Yeah.
And like Omar on your fifth, sixth D is a solid place to have him.
I'll also say that Omar has improved season after season. If you recall, he was usually finishing in the last round or second last round, right? He's just gotten more and more responsible on D, and I think it shows with his higher picks.
Yeah. Then you have Zahid Panchbaya going 77th to Isan. And I think Dawood had some familiarity with him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so he played on the last time Dawood was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I-
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how
Dawood-
Dawoud goes so sorry. Zed goes so low.
That's
He-
really low.
I
He's
know,
good.
I
He's
was
a good
just like,
player.
really?
he,
Wow.
he was playing the year that I played with him. He was on our second line.
No, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's.
I think what's
This is a
happening right
steal.
now in the draft is like guys are getting a little scrambly, right?
Yep,
Like they
yep.
just don't know where to go, right? Because I mean, having been in the draft room before,
Where do you go?
when it was live,
Isan.
Oh, jeez.
like you have guys who will make a pick and then the next pick somebody else picks and then they're like holding their head like I didn't even see this guy in the list. Like everything just gets blurry, right?
Yeah.
Dementia
And,
kicks in.
and so like now even because we're doing the draft virtually, it's happening in the next room over.
Yeah.
Like they're using a spreadsheet, right? So like you're scrolling up and down the spreadsheet and all of a sudden someone makes a pick and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that
Yeah,
that I
because
missed out on this
Zayed,
pick.
I remember he got hurt on his wrist.
Yeah.
And that really hurt our team.
Oh, he could
because
be useful
he was
for a lot of teams.
such an important piece. So this is a fantastic pick this late.
Yeah. Next at 78, Sabr takes Ali Jawad Tarbai. I do not know this guy.
He's new to the league.
I'm hoping Omar Hossein knows these guys because they're my teammates.
Welcome, brother.
I've actually, I don't know him as a hockey player. I actually met him once, so let me clarify that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's like our family friends, like
Quit acting
cousin.
like you
Did
don't know
he
him.
look like
But-
you could play hockey?
Yeah, I mean he could.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he plays in Dynamo. But I could be mistaken. But anyways, I had no idea he played ball hockey when I met him. So
Okay.
That's good.
That was in Ramadan.
Welcome to the league, bro.
there you go. At 79, our very own Zoo Fancy goes
This
to
is so
Yakin.
low. This is so low.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
crazy.
I think it's appropriate.
No, no.
But
this is-
he already has a jersey. He's ready to go.
yeah, there you go. Zuhair again, I think is one of the better shutdown defensemen in the league. He is, he has his antics,
Mind games.
right? Yeah, he has his antics. But a great pickup here, Yakin.
Yeah, at 80, we have Saeed Bilal Iftikhar going to Rida. So, what can I say? I mean, he's one of the
He was on my
one of the
team, right?
bros.
One of the
He
brothers. Is he
does-
the first one picked?
He's the first one picked. I'm surprised he went where he went. But
He was on my team, right? He was
Yeah, he was the one on your team.
yeah,
Oh, this is a steal where
He's
he
solid.
was. Man. He was playing second line in summer. I mean, now this is a much more deeper draft, but I mean his skill has improved significantly from previous years.
Yeah.
And really good hockey IQ. So
Mhm.
whoever drafted him,
It was Rida.
good job.
Rida again, man. I'm
Eh.
telling you, this is okay. Props, Mohib. I'll give you that.
81.
We budget,
Mohib
right?
takes
No,
Fuzzy.
that's all right.
Yeah, he takes Fuzzy. So Fazil.
I'm
Fuzzy.
surprised we don't have Fuzzy's picture.
Yeah, I think he's played in seasons when we haven't been taking pictures. So we'll definitely get one
It's been a
this
while
Friday,
since I've seen
inshallah, if
Fuzzy
he's there.
back.
Yeah, he was. I think he was here 2 seasons ago. But anyways, great to see him back. Solid guy on the back end, and he'll help contribute. At 82, we have the other Sufyan Sheikh from Malton.
Yes.
To clarify,
This guy, not this guy.
yeah, exactly, not that guy.
Hopefully smart.
So, I mean, he'll fit in well on Yakin, I think, and
He's played before.
yeah, he has.
I'm not familiar with his game.
yeah,
But again, I at this point, I think that making a familiar pick is probably the safest thing to do.
for sure.
I think fair to say, back from my original statement, I think the teams are kind of being built in these later rounds here with these steals and high value guys that people aren't picking.
Then at 83, you have Rehan Kazi going to Sabr. So he played in the summer.
He was
on
on your
Rida,
He's
right?
My team, yeah.
Very good kid.
He can play forward as well. So he's fast, good with the stick, and I think he can interchange between forward and defenseman. So good kid related to Kazi, Mohamed Kazi, and I think he has a bright future. I think he just has to, with age, everything gets better.
Yep. At 84, we have Mubin going to Hassan. So now this is a new pick for Daoud. You know what? I don't even think Kazantini
Mubin,
or Farouk have picked him before. So there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment with him joining this team. But you know what? I have no doubt he'll fit in.
I'll tell you what. You put Mobeen and Zahid Bunchpai on the same line. You've got an incredibly pesty forechecking line.
Yep.
And
That'd be
Mikhail Zaid on that as well, if you put him. Yeah.
85 in the 11th
my
round, you have
God.
Imran Lakanbal. Like, how did he fall? Like, he must have gotten lost somewhere in a cave or something, and they couldn't
Lakanbal.
find him. But he's going to Ikhlas at 85. Like, wow, this is going to be
Good job,
impressive.
RC. Good
Yeah,
job.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, for picking that out, geez.
I mean, Imran will score more goals than probably half the team. And
Imran can also play defense. He plays
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
like I
he
mean, he does
plays
whatever the
defense.
team needs him to do,
Doesn't
and he does
like
it well,
defense.
right? So I mean, I think that last season he was forced to play defense a little bit more than he wanted to. But Imran is no slouch, right? He's
Yeah.
a steal there, man. Steal.
All right. Then at 86, you have Iman taking Abdullah Inger. Now, Abdullah is new to the league, correct? So,
believe so.
Another new guy we're looking forward to get to know. 87, another new guy, Owais Mullah. Again, looking forward to get to know you. Hamza Gaya going at 88 to Haya. So he is, one of those guys. He runs, he scores the odd goal. Like, he can be streaky, and he can have really good games, and then other games. It's not that he has bad games, but he contributes, but he doesn't necessarily pop out, and that's a good
I
thing
think he
because
was
you get
great last
guys.
season. Summer
Yeah.
season, he played really good. He had a really good summer season game. I think he was given more responsibility and more time with, and he finished 6 goals and 4 assists. Again, like it's going to be tough. It's a deeper season now, so he's not going to get the same time that we got him on summer season, but you give him a space and he'll score.
Yep. Then on the snake to start the 12th round at 89 is myself
Imad
going to Haya.
Hussein.
I was telling you guys before, it's like I've never played with Luke, Akib, and Suf, and I was like, there's no way they're picking me because they know so many guys in the draft, but
And you're not named Malik.
with that too. So no, I'm looking forward to playing with these guys. This is going to be great.
I
And
think
remember what
you-
I said. The one and only time I played with Mufti was the one and only time I won a championship.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
God.
jinx it,
Give it
but
a
I'm
rest.
just saying.
Give it a rest.
I'm just saying.
No,
Okay.
I think you'll fit in right.
I mean, he might be jinxing his team right now, guys. If they don't get the championship, I want everybody to rewind to this moment in time, and I want us to remember the words of Imad when he ruined his team's chances.
I think all jokes aside, though, we'll say this for Ahmad. He's not going to speak to himself, but I think his playing style fits well with Luke and the team there, Luke and Co. So
Well, Imad is an excellent center, in my opinion. He definitely knows how to play.
Face-offs, but-
Well, he knows how to play the position well. But then he
great two-way.
also can play defense, which he does not like to do a lot. But in a pinch, he's a team first guy, and he will do it. So, great pick.
Thanks, guys. At 90, you have Hamza Bhagat going to Taqwa. So, he's a big guy, a big body. He's going to make a difference. He's going to create some space out there. I think he's going to be quite effective for Taqwa.
As long as he doesn't need biryani for the game, that's a little
Oh,
shout out to him.
I
There
think
you
he
go.
had one game in the summer where he just didn't do well after that. At 91, you have Talha Iftikhar going to Iman. So I know he was slotted in defense in the summer, probably more effective as a forward, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what? He's going to be great. Great add to the team there on the third line.
Yep. 92, we have Aftab Khan, who I don't know.
I don't know
I think
him
he's new
either.
to the league. But welcome, brother, and we are looking forward to talking about you on further podcasts. Oh wow,
93. You got
That-
Danish Ilyas going to
That is,
Isan.
that's a pick that should have happened a little bit earlier. But again, he's a guy that can play anywhere, and also a team first type of guy. Like whatever you need, he'll do, and he can score. So great pick, Dowd. Dowd, man, you're impressing me here, bro. You're impressing me.
At 94, you have Jabir Iftikhar going to Sabr. Now, I think this is probably late for him. He should have gone earlier, I would say.
So he's a kid, right?
Yeah, I
he's,
know, but-
he's small, but he's tenacious on the ball.
Yeah.
Very much like Zaid Qadri. He doesn't give up. He definitely punches above his weight class. And so I played with him in the summer. He needs a bit of a kick in the pants to get going, but once he does, he's right up there. Good job.
I'm sure he'll have plenty of kicks in the pants from Omar Hussein and Omar Asawi.
There you go.
Then at
you believe
95,
this?
we have Wahab going in at the end of the second last round to Yaqeen. And now the connection comes where Wahab was the guy who brought in Maz and Fahad into
Oh, it's
Islam.
full circle.
And now they're picking him at the end of the draft almost. And I'm surprised. Like, how did he go this far?
I don't know, but I remember this one play because Wahab was on my team when he was wearing that Sabr jersey, and Wahab went end to
And
end.
then
Yeah, Wahab went end to end, right? And
He thought he was playing Chelsea.
Yeah, man, and it was just it was a sight to see, but it was a steal there. Good job, guys.
Oh, yeah.
96, you have Huzaifa Iftikhar going to Rida. Now, Huzaifa played for Mohib this summer. I'm assuming he really liked his game. So you know what? There's familiarity there, so he's going to pick him up again. Then 97, just the way the rounds work, we don't do a snake. We go on to the team that had the last pick in the first round. So at 97, you have Omar Malik. So fitting way to end the draft for Haya with a Malik pick. He's a big guy.
No, that's not.
oh, no?
Omar Malik is. You're talking about Hassan Malik. Hassan
Yeah.
Malik
Oh,
was the
okay.
big guy.
Sorry.
Omar Malik
Bucks knows
was
him very
on.
well.
He was on Iman, and then he was traded to.
Oh, okay,
the
Omar, that's
Bucks.
right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's Omar. But I mean, again, he's a developing player, and I'm sure that with Hussein and Ismail, he'll definitely gel well, and hopefully pot a few goals.
Yeah, then at 98, we have Taqwa taking Arsal Bhatti. Now, Arsal was new to the league in the summer. Unfortunately, he had an injury from another sport, so he had to drop a couple games in the season. So he really didn't get a chance to really gel into the league. But you know what? From the couple games I played with him, he's a guy who's going to be a good team player, and he's going to contribute any way he can. At 99, don't mistake him for Wayne
Sonny
Gretzky,
boy.
but Salman Azmat going to Iman, and now there's familiarity here. I mean, he's played with them before, so definitely someone that they probably wanted, and we're hoping he was going to be available there.
Yeah, Salman's also coming off a summer championship.
He is. There you go. Yeah, that's
He
right.
definitely Phil Kessel that championship.
No, he Jeremy Lin did. All right.
Yeah, Jeremy Lin for sure. At 100, you have Moinuddin Sheikh joining Ikhlas.
I played with Moin in the summer.
Yeah.
Moin is a hustler, man. Moin can, and he scored a couple of goals too. So like Moin gets in the right spots. He is not your prototypical like last round type of guy. Like he can play. So good on them. This is a good pick. I don't know if they know who he is, but you're getting a really good player there.
At 101, going to Isan with their final pick is Abdulaziz Khan. This guy again, like he'll do what's needed, man. Like he'll play hard, and he's willing to learn.
I don't think there's any. You talk about guys that are in the last round or second last round. I think there's depth everywhere here, and I think you're going to see. I think I'm going to say this for the third time. I think the championship team is going to be the one who picked properly in the last 3-4 rounds. So those skills, guys, keep watch out for those.
I mean,
skills.
like this lot, like Salman has never picked this late.
Oh, forget about Salman. Forget
I'm
about
just,
Salih for
what I'm saying
As
though
an
is that it just
example.
speaks to the depth in the draft, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
that Zaid Bunchba Arf was mentioning that shocked me a bit because I mean he's
77, yeah.
these are all impact players, and
Yeah.
again, you're going to see people's third line go up against other people's second and first lines at this rate.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be very competitive.
At 102, you have Imran Shah. Like, okay, he's going to Sabra at 102. Are you kidding me? Like this guy, he's a second line player.
I mean, he played.
And
very
I'm not
well
even
in the summer.
exaggerating. Imran Shah. I'm thinking of
Everyone's
Imran
looking at each
Shah.
other like, what just happened?
Well, Imran
No.
Shah played on Iman in the summertime.
Yeah, Imran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Imran. Yeah, he's definitely like
Yeah.
a second liner.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could easily slot in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for the fourth time.
Oh my God, just
One
rest.
of-
Just give it a rest. Okay.
103. We want to get done here, Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Omar Sadat.
Someone's got to drive back
Omar Sadat.
Yeah,
Omar
at
Sadat
103.
Like Omar Sadat, he's
to Yakin.
yeah. I mean,
He's,
like
a, he's a great player.
he hustles, right? He's known for his
Great
his,
energy
his
guy.
helmet
Great-
bandana.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know
And-
how he ends up so low.
No,
he
he's
a
guy that-
works so hard, and one of the nicest guys you'll meet in the locker room.
And
Yeah.
he's the guy that you trust. Like you very seldomly are you saying, okay,
No.
you know what? Their first line is out. I'm gonna throw my third line out and just
No.
Omar Sadat, I would put him out against anybody.
He's very responsible.
Yeah.
In the sense, also he knows his limits,
And he's gritty.
so he will do what's required and come off, kind of thing, you know. And with the final pick, you have Maju going to Rida. So Mohib and Asif and Ajmal take Maju, and I mean this guy, he just
Hey,
has a
he's
knack
some-
for winning championships, getting to the finals, and just being successful overall.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think we need to put some respect on Maju's name.
There's
But
respect. There's lots of respect.
I'm just saying.
How
you
many
know,
championships
he
has he
is
won?
an
So I mean,
East
just
End
for the
legend.
context for the viewers, right? So like once there's only like I don't know when the last goalie was picked,
Legend.
right?
Yeah, I
The
lost
last-
track of that.
The last goalie was picked 45, right? So the last goalie was picked at pick 45. So at that point, you don't need to pick a goalie right away because there's
That's my
only one.
point.
There's only one goalie left, right? So it's not that there's not respect. It's just that in terms of draft
There you
strategy,
go.
you don't need to pick the goalie right away. But I mean, Maju, is
And
that
he was-
3 straight finals? He was.
and he
in?
was picked last in that season too.
No, not 3. I don't
I
think,
think it
three.
was.
Was it 3 straight finals?
I think it was. No,
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was 3.
Two-
we were
two
talking
for
about
sure.
that because he didn't make it to 3 straight finals.
no. Omar Mahmoud had won 2 championships in a row, and he was going for his third. I thought that Maju was.
He won with the Jogiets, Yakin in winter season.
Okay.
Who won fall season was Ikhlas.
Who was in the finals?
I don't think it was Maju.
Maju went.
I'm sure Maju will tell us in the comments.
Yeah, he'll tell us.
Look,
Two straight.
Okay,
Two straight.
two
See,
straight
there you go.
finals.
See,
The point
Okay.
that I think the point we're trying to make here is that
it's
Um,
time to wrap up.
there's time to wrap up. There's no bad goalies. To my point earlier, this is going to be an extremely deep draft. God help those who knew the
Bucks is
people in
just
the end.
reading the teleprompter, everybody. Okay.
There is no teleprompter.
Um,
It's all from the soul.
it's been a great podcast. We've been going for like over an hour here. Just very quickly,
Almost
okay?
two.
Arf, can you throw up the spreadsheet?
Well, why don't we do this instead? Is we'll post what the draft results are, and then we'll maybe do like a post draft analysis.
Well, I
before.
just want very quickly. I just want you to look at it, and you guys can look here if you like.
Yeah.
Who's winning the championship?
Who's winning the championship?
Pretend you're not on a team, right? So you don't
Alright.
upset your team.
Okay, I
Who's
gotta
your
be
pick?
unbiased
We're
here.
gonna rewind at the end of the season, right? All of us, right, including Arf. Who's your pick to win?
Isan.
Bucks.
I'm gonna say Rida or Islam.
No, just,
Oh,
can there only
one.
be one winner, man?
I don't know.
Do you not account?
I'll say Rida.
Arf, any?
I've been juggling all these screens. I haven't even looked properly. So blindly, I will say my team, of course.
All right, guys, it's been a great
What
podcast.
are you doing?
Honestly, I'm just gonna go for a shot in the dark here. I'm going to predict that Abu, right, the Malton trio,
That's
has
another
picked a
storyline.
team of superstars that nobody's ever heard of, and will
Be
go
like,
the
Go
distance.
undefeated. Go undefeated.
I'm not gonna predict that. I'm just gonna say they're gonna go the distance. Either that or any team that has Zuhair Fancy.
I can tell you Abu has at least 2 guys that they went really low, but after the season you'll see them probably drafted in the second and third lines.
there we go.
As,
Second, third
rounds.
round.
Yeah.
And yeah, who knows, guys? I might get better off my injury, and hopefully there's some
Sneak in.
waiver room here and there.
Salman Azmat, your way into a championship.
Chips and chip, baby. Chips and chip.
Well, it has been a great podcast, boys.
Thanks,
It's a
guys.
pleasure as always, and we're looking forward to a great season.
Yeah, and thank you, Art, for facilitating this, and also to the mosque and the center for helping support us. Happy Strong Family Studio, and then also Masjid Darul Imam, where we are located right now. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, boys.
And we look
Appreciate it.
forward to doing another show with you at some point, maybe before the first week of the season, which begins on Friday. But stay tuned to socials for seeing when that happens.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Take
You
it, boys.
guys.